For this event, I'm most excited about omnoculars. I'm Professor Voqas, and this is Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Hello, Professor. I didn't see you there.
Let's get right to the Battle of the Department of Mystery's Brilliant Event. It goes from September 15th through the 22nd, which is a Tuesday to a Tuesday, and it's 11 a.m. Pacific to 11 a.m. Pacific. For this event, as with most events, there are 5 Brilliant Foundables for you to return. The first 2 we'll be finding are Brilliant the Veil and Brilliant Tank of Brains. We'll find them just on the overworld map. They'll just be the purple event Foundables with the purple beam going up, and you'll just be returning those throughout the event. Next up is Brilliant Ron Weasley. He's going to come from the Brilliant Event 1.5 kilometer port keys, and that's how you'll get the fragments to be able to place his image in the registry. Although, as they've been doing for the last number of events, you'll also be able to get the fragments for Ron by completing the bonus tasks, which we'll talk about a little bit later, so you don't actually have to do the port keys for this event. Speaking of placing images, the first 2, the Veil and the Tank of Brains, both of those are going to take 20 fragments, so you'll need to return 20 of them in the wild, so to speak. And then for Ron, it takes 5 fragments to place his image. Next up is Luna Lovegood, brilliant version, of course, and she only takes 1 fragment to place, but the only way to get that fragment is from an event task, and we're going to talk about the tasks in a little bit, so I'll remind you again that this is how you place her image. And last but not least is the Brilliant Fortress Foundable that they always give us, which is Bell Jar of Time, which takes 3 fragments, which you would get from fortresses by using the Brilliant Event runestones in fortresses, and you have a chance to get those fragments. It's not 100%, but once you get 3 fragments, you'll be able to place the image. Then you could actually go through it again and get it again and place it again, which may be necessary actually for one of the tasks. In addition to the Brilliant Event Foundables, there's going to be 5 other Foundables, all mysterious artifacts that we will see increased sightings of. So, and again, they always say increased sightings. It doesn't mean all of them will be increased equally. I think the lower the threat level, the more we're likely to see it, and the higher the threat level, the less likely we're to see it. But it's all mysterious artifacts. It's Hagrid's Umbrella, one of my favorites. It is Omnoculars, which I think everybody needs for sure, and we'll talk more about that at the end of the video when we're just talking about strategies. It's the Mirror of Erised, which I do see occasionally, but not a ton. Then the Philosopher's Stone, which I definitely don't see a lot of. And lastly, the Time Turner. So all of them are mysterious artifacts. We should be seeing those, and it will be useful because we're going to need family experience for them, and we'll talk about that later. And again, they should appear more in the wild, and from Tonic for Trace Detections, I would assume we would also see more of those spawns from that. Now, it doesn't mean we won't see other mysterious artifacts as well, but these should be increased. Following the same pattern as most events, there's going to be 4 bundles in the store, 3 of which will be available day 1, and then the 4th one will be unlocked when you get to the bonus tasks. You can go back to Diagon Alley and there'll be a new bundle that you can purchase if you're on those tasks. The first bundle we'll talk about has not changed much, if at all, in a little while. It's the complimentary gift. It's free. You're going to get Tonic for Trace Detection ingredients, enough to make 1 Tonic for Trace Detection, which will be useful for task number 1, as well as there's some later tasks that have to do with it. So if you didn't have the ingredients already, they're giving you them, which is nice. And then 25 spell energy. And all you got to do is go to Diagon Alley when the event starts and just claim it. Next up is the SOS bundle, which is 450 coins, but it gives you 5 silver keys, which would be useful right now during the Dragon event, and 100 spell energy. The last bundle offered immediately is the Brilliant bundle, which is 740 coins, which will get you 3 Barufio's Brain Elixir and then 10 Potent Extimulo potions. And then last up is the Bonus Assignment bundle, which only appears after you've finished the first 4 sets of tasks and have opened up the bonus tasks. Diagon Alley, the shopping little basket, will actually have a little red dot. Go to it, and then it'll take you right to this page right here. So anyway, this is very potion heavy actually. It's 2,100 coins. You get 3 Barufios, you get 10 Potent Extimulos, you get 10 silver keys, you get 100 energy, you get 10 Wit Sharpening potions, 3 Tonic for Trace Detections, and 2 Strong Invigoration drafts. So a ton of potions, but it is 2,100 coins. All right, let's go ahead and get to the tasks. There'll be 4 sets of tasks, and each set has 3 things you need to do before you can move on to the next set. So the first set of tasks, the first of those 3 right here, is to pick up 2 ingredients or portmanteaus on the ground, and it's going to get you 2 leaping toadstools. By the way, energy on the ground counts as you picking up an ingredient. They're counting that right now. But if you picked up a portmanteau as well, that's going to count, or any ingredient. So just pick up 2 and you're going to get 2 leaping toadstool, which leaping toadstool is going to be used for baruffios. And to brew 1 baruffios, in addition to the other ingredients, you need 2 leaping toadstool. So that's a nice, I am going to enjoy that ingredient as a reward. The next task is to brew a tonic for trace detection, which is going to get you 2 rem blood. The rem blood is used for all the extimulo potions. So again, a useful potion for most people that you are brewing. And keep in mind, to get credit for this, all you actually have to do is collect it. Collecting it is like finishing brewing it. So before the event even begins, go ahead and have a tonic for trace detection brewed if you have the ingredients. And then you can just collect it right when the event begins, and you'll get credit for this. If you do not have the ingredients, go get your complimentary gift, has all the ingredients, and then you can go ahead and brew it. You're just going to have to wait for it to get done. And lastly is return 5 brilliant tank of brains, which should be on the overworld map. It should be the purple beamed event spawns. And that's going to get you 1 strong extimulo potion. When you finish all that, you're going to get 550 experience. You're going to get 50 brilliant experience for this registry page. You're going to get 2 restricted section books, and you're going to get 10 spell energy. Before we go any further, during this first set of tasks, my first big piece of advice is don't even open up the registry. Just don't go in the registry. Mainly because I don't want that family experience for you to get that family experience yet, the brilliant family experience, because when we get to the second set of tasks, you're going to need to be able to get a bunch of it, and we'll talk about that. Which brings us into the second set of tasks. The first task of those being 3,500 wizarding experience from traces. So not from challenge XP, not from getting trunks. It's going to have to be from returning traces. So you're just going to have to grind this out on the overworld map. There's no way to save anything up, placing images. None of that's going to get this for you. It's going to have to be from returning traces. That's going to get you 1 hermit shell crab, which are used for dawdle drafts. That's the ingredient, one of the ingredients for dawdle draft. The second task of the second set of tasks is to use tonic for trace detection 2 times, and that will get you 6 snowdrop. So again, you can already have the tonic for trace detections, you just need to be able to use it. The only, I guess, bummer here is you won't be able to do this immediately, because you're going to have to use 1, and you won't be allowed to use another one until that one runs out. So mine is 30 minutes long, which means I need to put one on, go through 30 minutes of it, and then go 30 minutes more. But as soon as I go ahead and use the second one, this task will be complete. Now, since you have to get 3,500 wizarding experience from traces in the previous task, then you might as well, you're going to kind of be banging both these out at the same time. Use a tonic, and then as you're returning those traces, you're going to be building up that 3,500 wizarding experience. And the last task of the second set is to collect 2 brilliant event runestones. You do this by ranking up the registry page that has the brilliant images on them. Now the thing is, if you open the registry, it's going to go ahead and rank up. It's going to give you all that family experience, and you'll probably see the red dot and you'll want to click it, but just don't click it. Just wait through that first set of tasks and be returning Foundables, and whenever you get to this second set of tasks, then you can open up the registry. I would almost guess that by the time you get to this task, if you haven't opened up the registry yet, having to have already returned 5 brilliant tank of brains and probably returning some other brilliant ones while you're just going through that first set of tasks. My guess would be that when you open up the registry, you'll get at least 2 rank ups, and both rank ups are going to give you runestones, and that's how you're going to get this task filled. If you have opened the registry, it's not the end of the world or anything. You just need to then go grind out some more of the event Foundables, and then that'll get you probably enough family experience. When you get rank ups, you'll just get more brilliant runestones. And once you've collected those 2 runestones, you get 1 dark detector for that. And if you complete the second set of tasks, you get 750 wizarding experience, 75 brilliant family experience for the registry page. You're going to get 3 restricted section books and then 10 spell energy. The third set of tasks you see right here, it's all about fortresses. The first thing you need to do is defeat 15 foes in wizarding challenges. So just run challenges, night bus or otherwise. Probably the night bus for most of us. And that's going to get you 2 healing potions. The second task, complete 5 wizarding challenges with 3 or more teammates. And that's going to get you 1 strong extimulo potion. And my reminder on all these events that when it asks you to complete with 3 or more teammates, you can count as one of those 3. So myself and 2 other people completing a wizarding challenge does count toward those 5 for this particular task. And then the last task for this is earn 7,500 wizarding XP from challenges. So while you're doing those first 2 things, you're probably already building up 7,500 experience from wizarding challenges, but if you haven't, you're just going to have to run some more fortresses until you build up to that, and you'll get 1 silver key for that. Once you finish that, you'll get 1,250 wizarding experience, 75 family experience for the registry page for the Brilliant event. You're going to get 5 restricted section books, and then you'll get 10 spell energy as per usual. On to the 4th set of tasks. The first one being earn 500 mysterious artifacts family XP. So this isn't talking about the event. This is talking about in your registry, the normal, it's like the pink symbol, but it's got mysterious artifacts. This is Hagrid's umbrella, this is the omnoculars, this is the mirror of Erised, and anything else on those pages in that family. You just need to get 500 family XP, and that's going to get you 1 spell book, which is going to help you with your lessons for your combat training, not for the SOS skill tree. These books aren't used for that. Now keep in mind, this is not one that you necessarily have to grind out. This is another piece of advice that I've got for you, which is look in your registry and look under mysterious artifacts, save images to place, so that when you get to this point, you can place images, which is one of the best and easiest ways to get family experience for any registry family, is just start working on those images, and if you have any close, save them. And earlier, in the first 3 sets of tasks, if you're getting Hagrid's umbrellas or omnoculars, even if you really want to place that image, maybe to prestige that page, maybe just wait till this 4th set of tasks, then put the image down, just so it's easier for you to get to that 500 quicker. The second task is to return 20 Brilliant the Veil, and that's going to get you 2 spell books. These are event spawns, so again, it's just going to be the purple beamed ones. You just have to grind this one out. There's no way to save anything up for this. You're just going to have to return 20 of them, which shouldn't be too hard because the event spawns should be spawning decently enough. And lastly is to place 5 Brilliant images in the registry, and that's going to be 2 spell books, which I guess gets to my third piece of advice, which is as you go through everything else you're doing, don't place any of the images for any of these Brilliant Foundables that you're getting. What I mean is the Brilliant Tank of Brains and the Brilliant Veil, like if you build up to 20 fragments in that, don't place those images. I know you might get some max fragments, but there's really no rush to do it. Just hold on to those images until you get to this particular task. Also, if you happen to be getting port keys and you get 5 fragments of Ron, hold on to that image and don't place it yet. As well as the Bell Jar of Time, if you're using Brilliant Event runestones and you're getting 3 fragments of that and you can place that image, hold on to that as well. Unfortunately, Brilliant Luna Lovegood, you will get the fragment to place her image after you complete all these tasks. So that's only 4 Brilliant images between those you're going to be able to get. So you're going to have to, even if you had all 4 waiting to be placed, you're still going to have to get 1 more. So you're going to have to get 20 more fragments for the first 2 things, 5 more port keys ready to open. So you could do that pretty quickly if you had 5 already opened and 5 more that were ready to be opened, so you could place that Ron image 2 times essentially. Or you could just run fortresses and just get more fragments of the Bell Jar of Time and then place that image again, because you're going to need to place those 5 images. And if you do all that, you will get the fragment of Luna Lovegood, so you can place that image in the registry. At this point, it doesn't matter. Placing it doesn't hurt you in any way. You don't need to save it for anything. You're going to get 50 gold. You're going to get 5 restricted section books, 5 Defense Against the Dark Arts books, which is nice, and then you're going to get 30 spell energy. Once you finish up those 4 sets of tasks, it'll say you're done, you'll back out, and then it'll immediately say you've been issued a bonus assignment, and it'll come to these set of tasks right here. So the first thing you're going to want to do is use 2 tonic for trace detection. So just make sure you have them brewed. Again, you can brew all these before the event even begins and just have them ready to be used. But again, to be able to use both of these, you're going to have to use one, and then it's going to have to kind of run out, and then you're going to have to use the other one. But as soon as you use the second one, this will be completed. And that's going to get you 1 unicorn hair, which is used to brew potent extimulo potions. Next up is to return 45 Brilliant Foundables, which means it's either going to be the Brilliant Tank of Brains or Brilliant the Veil. Now notice it says return, not place images, not receive from fragments. So getting the Fortress ones, unlocking a port key, and getting a Brilliant Ron Weasley fragment, none of that counts. You actually have to return the Foundable itself, which means it's got to be one of those two from the overworld map. So this, again, is just going to be a grind. Put on a tonic for trace detection that you need in that first task anyway, and then just start going to town on Foundables. So after you get 45 of those, you get rewarded with one potent extimulo potion. Next up is to return 30 Mysterious Artifacts Foundables, which is going to get you a silver key. Again, since the spawn rate for the Umbrella, the Omnoculars, and the Mirror of Erised is going to go up, hopefully we'll see a bunch more of those, and that'll help us complete this task. But if there were other wild spawns that happen to also be mysterious artifacts, you would get credit for it too. And the last two tasks on the bonus list both have to do with challenges. One of the tasks is to use 5 potions in wizarding challenges. You can use all 5 in one fortress, or you could do 5 fortresses and use 1 potion at a time. Just whenever you use a potion in a wizarding challenge in a fortress, you're going to get credit towards this, and that's going to get you 1 spell book. And the last task, which has been a staple lately, is to win in your highest unlocked chamber. So for me, that's Dark 5, but for you, it's whichever chamber currently you are able to go to that's the highest. You're going to need to win there, and you're going to get 1 spell book for that as well. And for me, at least, when I get to this point, I will probably end up using 5 potions in that Dark 5 that I have to do, just to go ahead and use those potions. It would actually make the chamber easier anyway, and if I use like some healing potions, it means the Magizoologist doesn't have to necessarily worry about me personally. I'm a professor, if you didn't know. So I'll probably end up using all 5 potions in that Dark 5, mainly just to meet this requirement, and I can almost guarantee there'll be healing potions or potentially some extimulo potions. Once you complete all these bonus tasks, you're going to get 2,000 wizarding experience, 100 family experience for the Brilliant Registry page for this event specifically. You're going to get 5 Defense Against the Dark Arts books, 1 new title for your Ministry ID, 5 fragments of Brilliant Ron Weasley. So if you didn't do any port keys at all, then those 5 fragments be enough for you to be able to place that image on the registry page. And that's just to try to help people out if you're not able to get out because of the current world situation. So you wouldn't actually have to get out and do port keys. You could just get the 5 fragments here. And lastly, you get 30 energy as per usual. And once you claim those rewards, you will be done with this event from a task perspective. But I did want to head over to the registry and just talk about, I'm on Mysterious Artifacts right now. You can see it's the pink symbol and it's got the lock on it. So anyway, you can see I believe I have an image to place. So Room of Requirement on this page here, Hagrid's Umbrella is on this page, and that will be one of the increased spawns, but you can see the rest of the page is not specifically increased, so not sure how much it'll help you prestige this page unless you're missing Hagrid's Umbrella, which for me, to get to gold, the last thing I needed was Hagrid's Umbrella, so in which case, if I hadn't done it already, this event would help me do that. On the next page, the Philosopher's Stone and the Mirror of Erised are both on this page, but again, I am on gold already, so for me personally, I can kind of ignore this page. I will get those as they come along, certainly. But the other ones, I actually do have more trouble seeing. Dumbledore's Memory Cabinet, I don't see a lot of that. And the Pensive, I don't see a lot of that as well. Whereas the Sword of Gryffindor, if you can see, it doesn't have a threat level, which means it's from fortresses. So again, this would be a fortress foundable. But again, you should rack up as many as you can of the Philosopher's Stone and the Mirror, just so you know they're out of the way, and you can just work on the other 3. So when you get the other 3, you can prestige instead of having to wait for the Philosopher's Stone or the Mirror. And lastly, for me at least, this page will be the one that I haven't done much with it, and I really could use those Omnoculars down there. You can see I'm 8 out of 12 lifetime. The whole time, I'm 8 out of 12. I don't see them. I saw an Omnoculars recently. When the Trace Charm has come out, I actually used it and got the clone, and actually ended up getting 4 fragments. So that 8 of 12, 4 of those fragments were really from just 1 appearing for me. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I see in Discord and on Reddit, people talk about Omnoculars all the time, so I think a lot of people are going to be happy to see increased spawns of this. You'll notice the 3 other images that I've already placed on this page, the Time Turner, which does have increased spawns, which will also be nice, the Marauders map, and Mad Eye Moody's Eye. those 3, I'm already green starred. I'm ready to go to the next page. Now, the Cursed Opal Necklace, if you see, it's actually blinking right now. I'm 7 out of 7. And then Sirius's Flying Motorcycle, that actually Hagrid's been using in the movies and later on, obviously, is 6 out of 7. Both of those are Fortress Foundables. And honestly, I think I was 4 out of 7 on the necklace and 5 out of 7 at Hagrid's until just a second ago. My camera actually started to heat up too much, so I have to stop filming while making this guide. So while waiting for the camera to cool down so I could film this final bit, I actually went into some fortresses, used mysterious artifact runestones, and managed to get some fragments, which is great. And that would be my other recommendation about this whole event. Prior to the event, or I guess during the event as well, because you're probably going to be getting runestones, go ahead and look at your Fortress Foundables, which is the Flying Bike, the Cursed Necklace, the Sword of Gryffindor on this page here. Those 3 Foundables are only found in fortresses, so they can end up holding you back if you're getting the other stuff, but you haven't got that yet. So I'm actually going to try to get ahead of the game and get more fragments of those, so that as I get omnoculars, I can move ahead and prestige to the next page instead of getting more omnoculars that I'm not getting credit on the next page. That's going to do it for this guide. Remember, we still have time to build up some images and mysterious artifacts to hold on to them because you're going to need that family experience. And I guess if you're going to brew anything, brew some tonic for trace detections because you do need to use a bunch of them. But save some ingredients so that you can brew one right before the event begins. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Knox.